Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargava again. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. The stock markets all over the world are a den of investors, speculators, as well as scamsters. Wherever there is money, there are bound to be criminals and scamsters. And the stock markets have huge monies, and there are bound to be the most brilliant scamsters also working in the stock markets. They manage to make money on the sly by insider trading, by orchestrated trades as they call it, by synchronized trading, by price manipulation, and all kinds of ingenious schemes by which they manage to subvert the systems and make money at the cost of the ordinary investor who trusts the systems and platforms, trading platforms of the respective stock markets. These kind of scamsters, when the schemes are very ingenious or when the gains are very sizable, have often managed to get collusion of the stock market officials, by virtue of which they manage to defraud the ordinary investor. That is why all the regulators, all the capital market regulators over the world, which in India happens to be SEBI, they have the most stringent regulations, the most stringent penalties, the most severe prosecution for those who have defrauded the ordinary investor through the means of the stock market. India is no exception, and the SEBI has got extremely severe regulations for punishing those who have subverted the system in this manner, which includes insider trading, which includes synchronized trading, which includes circular trading, or any kind of a price manipulation. A few years ago, the entire board of directors of the BSE were found to have made hundreds of crores by way of unjust profits by virtue of taking illegal access to trading data on the BSE. And by virtue of knowing this trading data, they knew the broker and investor position on every share, and they were able to take huge advantage of it. The SEBI, of course, is said to have punished them, but if we recall correctly, they did not truly disgorge or take away all the illegal profits that the board of directors of BSE had made at that point of time. The recent colocation scam of NSE is yet another ingenious mechanism or scheme by which some people or some brokers manage to subvert the system and make unfair illegal gains. This colocation scam has taken SEBI 2 years to investigate and unravel, and so serious are the findings that at the moment SEBI has withheld the 10,000 crore IPO of NSE because it yet has to punish those who are involved in it. And it is very clear that there was collusion at the highest levels in this particular scam too. The colocation scam, the NSE colocation scam as it is called, involves the NSE giving a preferential, illegal, unfair access to a Delhi-based broking firm called OPG Securities. And what was the access? OPG Securities could access the servers of SEBI, the servers of NSE at the very opening of the trading session at the beginning of the day. And they got this preferential access just for a few seconds, but those were enough for them to take advantage of price sensitive information such that they could sell some shares if they wanted, or they could buy some shares if they wanted, before the public got a whiff of the kind of information which was going to impact the prices of those shares that they transacted in through such preferential illegal access to the NSE trading mechanism. This was not possible without the involvement of the top officers of NSE. The 2-year SEBI investigation actually indicates that SEBI has charged 2 former CEOs, managing directors of NSE, Mr. Ravi Narayan and Chitra Ramakrishna, to be involved in the colocation scam. The duo denies any involvement, but the emails that were exchanged or that was sent by them proves otherwise. The emails prove that they were aware that OPG Securities was being given a preferential illegal access to the NSE servers at the beginning of the trading session between the years 2010 to 2015, by virtue of which OPG is said to have benefited by a huge sum of money. Yet another aspect of this colocation scam of NSE is trading data. Very confidential trading data was given by NSE to one Mr. Ajay Shah, whose only claim to fame is that he used to be a consultant with the Ministry of Finance, but he was illegally given trading data, and trading data is of a lot of benefit to make illegal gains on the stock markets. Even he is under investigation by SEBI, and if we are told, also CBI. This was clearly a fraud on the investors on all those who dealt on the NSE platform. It was clearly an illegal mechanism for OPG to make money, and how could the top officers of NSE who were aware of this have permitted this kind of an illegal access to the servers of NSE at the beginning of the day, as we said, and also how could they give illegal access to sensitive trading data to this gentleman, Mr. Ajay Shah. This kind of a scam involves serious breach of systems and duty. This kind of a scam where there is collusion at the highest level means that the investors who trusted in the mechanisms of NSE, their trust was belied, and it needs highest and severest punishment, not just to OPG Securities, which got a first illegal access to the SEBI data, to the SEBI servers in the morning, in the trading hours in the morning, but also to those at the NSE side who permitted something like this to happen. The recent reports say that NSE is seeking to settle this particular breach. They may call it a breach of systems, we call it this particular fraud, by way of a consent plea. A consent plea would mean that no charges are really pressed, a fine is paid, and the case is closed. These kind of consent plea mechanisms should not be permitted in a situation where the system was permitted to be subverted out of collusion, and where in the process the ordinary investor has lost huge sums of money. While they may be within the regulations of SEBI to seek a consent plea, we think that these kind of serious situations where the ordinary investor has lost money should not be permitted through a consent plea. Till then, SEBI has held back its permission for the IPO, the 10,000 crore IPO that NSE proposes to come out with. We hope that the consent plea of NSE is not approved by SEBI. This is Akhilesh Bhargava signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.